Tensions in the Middle East are escalating rapidly after diplomacy collapsed and the U.S. moved to turn up the pressure on Iran.
A U.S. naval blockade is now targeting Iran's ports and parts of the Strait of Hormuz. And as the conflict deepens, a new war of words is also erupting between President Trump and Pope Leo, who has been critical of the war and is calling for peace. Tim McNicholas is in our immersive studio with where things stand now.
Shortly after the blockade started this morning here in the Strait of Hormuz, 2 oil tankers turned away from the strait. It's not clear where those ships came from or turned back to, but you can see right here on the map where they did turn around. The U.S. military has said it will allow ships to travel the strait between non-Iranian ports. Negotiations between the U.S. and Iran broke down over the weekend, but the White House says talks are now back on.
We've been called by the other side. They'd like to make a deal very badly.
President Donald Trump says Vice President J.D. Vance's weekend negotiations with Iran ended without a deal because of Iran's nuclear program.
Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. And we agreed to a lot of things, but they didn't agree to that. And I think they will agree to it. I'm almost sure of it. In fact, I am sure of it. If they don't agree, there's no deal.
The president says he decided to block Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz to try to get Iran back to the negotiating table and to try to reopen the waterway to drive down global oil prices. Iran has threatened to retaliate, and President Trump threatened further military action if that happens.
U.S. naval personnel and assets will be in more direct range of Iranian mines, drones, and more in and around the Strait of Hormuz, so we could see more casualties.
In a new CBS News poll, nearly 70% of surveyed Americans said they're worried about the U.S.-Iran conflict, and more than half said gas prices have been a financial hardship. President Trump says the U.S. does not rely on the Strait of Hormuz for oil.
So we don't need it, but the world needs it.
Pain is not something new to the Iranians, and Washington is concerned about the midterm elections, the economy, the price of petroleum, agriculture, fertilizer, and so forth. So Washington is kind of in a hurry. Iran feels they have all day.
And the closure of the strait has impacted prices globally. In the U.S., AAA says the average price hit $4.13 a gallon. Tim McNicholas, CBS News, New York.
And protesters in Manhattan called on elected officials to take action to end the war. Demonstrators blocked the street outside Senator Schumer's Midtown office today. The group, organized by Jewish Voice for Peace, is demanding that New York lawmakers support an upcoming Senate vote to block the sale of weapons to Israel.
They have never done this vote before. They have always voted to continually giving Israel more and more weapons. They're not listening to their people. Americans, New Yorkers do not want endless wars.
Well, the group says 100 people were arrested during the sit-in demonstration. A spokesperson for Senator Schumer says the minority leader thinks the war is a disaster and has led the charge to make the Senate vote to halt the war 3 times.
Pope Leo is pushing back against President Trump's public attack over the weekend. The Pope is opening up a 10-day trip to Africa today, making an appeal for peace. Yesterday, the president said the Pope's stance against the war in Iran is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. The American-born pontiff did not back down. The Pope called the president's threat to destroy Iranian civilization unacceptable and urged the president to find a way to end the war. We'll have much more on the story coming up later at 6 o'clock.